Hi, and welcome to your Bealtaine reading. Here we have three piles, pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. And we'll be doing for each pile a spread that relates to your overall theme for this Bealtaine season of 2025, where you're at now, and the steps you need to take to raise your energy, and the type of power and justice that you'll be manifesting, and more. So take a time now and to know which pile is for you. Hello, pile 1. Let's see what we got. So here we have the theme of your Bealtaine season this year. And then we have where you are as a sacred traveler. So the theme is coming, it's sort of a beginning. It is planting seeds, especially on the realm of intentions. What are you wishing? What are you envisioning? A promise comes from a vision and a hope for something in the future. And right now you are in an adventure and almost like a fighter mode. You're ready to overcome obstacles, and you're full of energy already. Let's see, what are the 3 steps you need to take to raise your energy in this season? Okay. So first, we are reaching your destination, which can be sort of a visioning process because we see the path in front of us. And also we kind of have a destination in mind. So this really matches well with the overall theme, where you have a promise you want to make, and this is what is getting you excited. You have this vision, and you believe in yourself. And then what happens next? This might be a contract of energy, and which is not surprising. We're kind of looking at things through 3 steps, so kind of like the ebb and flow of things. So it could be that here we're seeing you as a healer, and in terms of raising energy, that might be the here we have it says right here, it is healing energy. So it could be whatever you come across. It might be people you need to help. It might be yourself that you want to heal. If you feel slowed down in any way, that is not, and you feel like that it's not tickling you directly on this, what could have been a straightforward path, know that just because you believe in yourself and you have a strong solar plexus, that is not, sometimes that's not the entire picture, and it's not your own fault if things takes their winds and turns. It is an opportunity to gather and nurture other parts of your ability. So here, healing energy is very different from what we start with. And then the 3rd step to raise your energy is finding sanctuary, opening to your spiritual source. So that is expanding. After you start with being comfortable with yourself, and then you open up to maybe more unknown or hidden parts of yourself and the flowing energy. And then you're expanding even more. Now you have maybe a broader idea of how energy flows, broader than you thought in the beginning. There are external forces, there are spiritual forces, they are the unseen and unknown. That is what ultimately will help you, or that is kind of the approach you need to take to continue to raising your energy. And this right here does look like it could be related to a place, a community, somewhere you feel like you belong. So that could be like finding a comfortable place, a place of peace around your house, or in your neighborhood. It could be joining a community to kind of scale up your energy. Then let's see your the power that you will be manifesting and expressing on this path. Okay. Your power is going to be Soul Welcome. And so you will be, it could be related to how you're opening up yourself to a full community of the human community, and as well as to spiritual realm, spiritual guides. From the booklet, Rise Like the Sun, welcome new visitors and new ways. Travel. Consistency is key to completing a lengthy project. Be open to awe and wonder. So here I do kind of see you will become the gateway to new beginnings for other people. The soul, she's a Bealtaine sun goddess. So when you have multiple dimensions of understanding and energy within you, you've gone through self-understanding, you've gone through healing, perhaps some either rest or hurt or lower energy, and you open up to the greater picture. And this depth and this diversity of experience will allow you to be a welcomer, and you'll be the one who instills hope, who instills safety to other people. And that makes me curious about the justice that you're manifesting for this season. True power equals life, equals spirit, whereas force equals weakness, equals death. And this is from the deck, Power versus Force, and that's why we have power contrasted against force. And so just like the son of goddess, just like the son of goddess, your power will enable you to manifest a justice that is full of life and spirit. You will bring that out in people. Maybe you will have any kind of act of kindness, of warmth, of friendliness, and that will ignite maybe the will to live, the will to pass it on, just a passion for life. You might help people get out of a rut. And let's see here. When an individual has lost or lacks those qualities we term spiritual, he becomes devoid of humanity, love, and self-respect. He may even become selfish and violent. When a nation veers from its alignment with the spirit of man, it can become an international criminal. I don't know about you. I think this is very fitting. This is the energy. This is why we're doing this spread. We're trying to raise energy that is headed towards love and towards life. And everyone is different, so of course there's always conflict. But the bigger picture is how we create a nurturing and thriving landscape for all to grow. and where we talk about force, it is not a power. If power only comes from defeating others, it only comes from having enemies and defeating enemies. If it only comes from separating, if it only comes from categorizing people from strong and weak, I don't know, rich versus poor, productive versus unproductive, powerful versus not powerful, that is not true power. So your power and your justice is really aligned. See, you're finding sanctuary, and you're finding a place that you can hold your power, you can continue your energy, you can help others. So if there are ever times of confusion or disempowerment, come back to these words. The qualities of humanity, love, and self-respect. Now, lastly, let's come and see what supports you. Here's the soil that nourishes you. This is where you get your nutrients, you get support from. 34, I deserve to receive and give love. If you are a plant, your soil, your source of nutrient, and what you receive to help you grow is the heart chakra. We have the green, and we have sort of the pinkish background. And with this light, I feel like it's kind of the ultimate heart chakra card. It's about the entire heart space, and that means the stronger your heart is, the firmer the support that you'll continue to receive. And of course, this is receive and give love is about reciprocity. And so the strength that it asks of you here is, again, kind of to see the bigger picture, no longer of yourself as the only traveler. It's no longer, it's almost like a novel that starts from one single traveler, a hero or a heroine, and then as the story goes on, we discover multiple perspectives. There are some novels that are written that way. Start with one person, we thought they're going to be the main character, and then we see all the different point of views from other characters. And what is your way of healing? Anytime you need to recharge, recover. I have a healthy and stable foundation in my life. So this is saying your way to heal, you might be having a very dynamic, look at all these different places you'll go and different stages of raising energy that you'll do, and you want an anchor. And so symbolically, that could be an image of a mountain where it's stable, it's always there as your guidance, but kind of different from your personal vision. It's something outside of you. It would be nice if you can have a steady anchor that reminds you, some things are kind of internal. Maybe it is love, maybe it is the true meaning of life, spirit, and power that is sort of external and beyond all of us, and having something bigger that might comfort you and stable the foundation in your life. Yeah, it could be any of the celestials, the sun, something that outlasts all of us. Let's see, so going back again to what we have for you as the theme, this has sort of a broader meaning. The new moon of promise. It could still be a promise to yourself if there are certain goals or drive. But it feels like it could be a promise you make with each other, that you're making promises with a group of people and you're hoping to create something better. It's also very funny. Even this is a picture of a sword cutting into a big boulder blocking a road. To me, this has always looked a little like, especially from afar, it looked like a peach. It looks like a peach and being cut to share. So if that resonates with you at all, the obstacles could be you seeing, I don't know, unevenly distributed wealth, and you're keen to break it down. Like, this boulder is not, it doesn't symbolize like a dead and lifeless, just a challenge for no reason. It might be actually abundance that you see is in the way of actual happiness, of community. Maybe you're just breaking down things so that the happiness, joy, ease in life, wealth can be maybe a little more evenly distributed along more people. And as we see the dynamic here, the power that you will express is creating that sense of welcome and hope, safety and happiness for a lot of people. And when you yourself, and what feeds in to all your energy and what you can offer to others is being open to receiving. We're seeing some quite an amount of giving, so it might really be noticing and accepting help, accepting resources, and that'll feed into your ability. And also when that inevitably sometimes you run out of steam, go back to, you know, it's not just nature. We're talking about mountains and celestials. It could be timeless teachings, wise people, wise elders, wise books that came before you, and that will help you. You know, there are probably many things and patterns that we're going through that's kind of gone through before. People and leaders have gone through very difficult, different paths, and it might be that their presence in the past or the words they leave behind, those will be your source of comfort. And that's the message for pile 1. Thank you for being here, and I hope you have a great Bealtaine season. Hello, pile number 2. Let's see what we have for you. First, your overall theme for this Bealtaine cycle, and then also where you are right now as a sacred traveler. So your overall theme is lotus flower unfoldment or unfolding. And then where you are right now is discovering truth. You stand in the light of truth. So these two, I think, is corresponding each other very strongly. Looks like you're in the middle of a journey, and you are also aware of that. Things are unfolding for you. You know that there's something is up. You're trying to let yourself go with the flow, and you're doing a great job with it. Whether you're not aware of it, there is a very pure and blessed destiny and kind of the next milestone waiting for you. You are maintaining your kind of maybe your innocence and your belief in all that is good, and you are aware that that is not always the easiest path, that is not always the most useful path. Even it might actually bring you more challenges than someone who doesn't follow those high virtues. But there's something calling you, and you know that the purity inside is what you have to follow and see what it brings. And you're open to the journey and the challenges and the wisdom that is going to take you, that is going to present to you. In Chinese culture, lotus is always representing the purity and the innocence of how it grows out of the mud. We say growing out of the mud, but maintains its pure innocence. You're comfortable in your own pursuit of truth and goodness. Now let's see, what are the 3 steps or the 3 stages that you need to raise your energy? First, we have finding sanctuary, opening to your spiritual source, and that kind of feels like where you are right now as well. And then embracing enthusiasm. Embracing enthusiasm of the spring with the flowers and butterfly. And then begin now to take your first step. So like we're saying, you know you're on some path, and maybe you actually, a part of you accepts that the answer is not right in front of you. You are getting comfortable connecting with your environment, your spiritual team, maybe even with your beliefs or with the community around you. And then after that, kind of going building up from where you are extending that to sometimes when we're pursuing truth or wisdom, there is a lot to take in, and in order to balance all kinds of emotions, all kinds of perspective, things can be a little abstract, sometimes even a little emotionally removed, and then you will go back to find details in life force in the small things. You're not saying, oh, everything is, everything is balanced, or everything has its causes, or everything happens for a reason. And then sometimes it could turn into apathy. And so you, in order to kind of raise your energy again, you will be looking for, let's see, you'll be looking at smaller things that will kind of ignite your passion again. And so don't feel off if you feel like, oh, it's spring, it's time to plan for vacation, have fun, why I'm not feeling it. Don't worry about that, because spring is a season. And we have all the external and internal seasons to manage. And then lastly, this is when it might kind of feel like, maybe not fruition, but this will, at the final stage, is where you feel like, I can feel that I have that energy to release into the world. This is when I start making the physical change. This is when I start telling everyone about it. And so it feels like you might know a lot more clearly when you're actually you have reached where you need to be in terms of your energy level to take on to the next stage. Let's see, with this energy raising, what is the power that you will be expressing? We have Aya, truth. Okay, let me take a look. This is from the Queen of the Sun Oracle. Aya is the Mesopotamian goddess of light, dawn, and justice, and she is the wife of the sun god, Samash. She's seen as the great bride of the pantheon and works closely with her husband on issues of protection and justice. Honesty and transparency are necessary for success. Seek justice in the situation, but understand truth and justice may not be the same thing. Understand that truth and justice may not be the same thing. So here we're seeing you already on the path of truth, and you're waiting to see what will unfold. And what you might discover might, as you have your goal on discovering truth, you might present your power in what to do about it. There might be different layers of truth that you need to deal with and decide how you respond. And let's see if there's any clues here. So it kind of feels like there might be things you're uncovering in a sanctuary. And maybe that's where there be things or information, facts, truths that wear you down. And maybe you'll say, what is the point? And as that kind of dims your energy and maybe your spirit, this is what you will need to go through. You might need to intentionally create and then plant the seeds. They might not come as naturally to you, but that's how you'll be able to find your passion and energy again. So along with Aya for truth and justice, what is the justice that you will express with your energy? Simple kindness to oneself and all that life is, and all that lives. Simple kindness to oneself and all that lives is the most powerful transformation force of all. This is from the deck, Power versus Force. Let me talk about how the two differs. And so again, right here, it's talking about how yourself, how your own beliefs is related to how you affect the world, and therefore how you affect other people. It increases one's own true power without exacting any toll. But to reach maximum power, such kindness can permit no exceptions, nor can it be practiced with the expectation of some selfish gain or reward. Let's do this again. Such kindness can permit no exceptions, nor can it be practiced with the expectation of some selfish gain or reward. So I think the message comes through. You cannot exert kindness to others if you haven't learned how to be kind to yourself, and that is definitely a paradox for most of us. Being kind to ourselves feels like selfishness. And so we're going to have all these beautiful interactions in life. We reflect on how we treat others and think about how we can treat ourselves with the same kindness. Or we find ourselves not being so kind to either someone else or to myself, then we'll kind of, change our rules a little bit. And there are many things we can reflect on for that. You might be realizing that the first steps you can take, the change you can start to make, might not have to be big things. It can be simple kindness, whether to yourself, and that changes how other people see themselves, or simple acts of kindness. And this is your power from the sun. This is the justice. So the others might actually see you as a very brave and bright. It might be joyful. Justice and truth might not always just be about very heavy warrior energy. It could also be how you conduct yourself and treat others in your day-to-day life. Okay, now let's see, what is your soil? Basically, what is feeding you and nurturing you and supporting you in this cycle? Okay, we have, when I heal, the world heals. So because you're on such a journey that is very deep, and you're getting very close to spirit. So you might come across a lot of situations that requires your self-care for yourself, and so don't overlook that important, because that might be how you discover what kindness, all the different phases of kindness. Let's also see what your healing be like in this period, because since healing is a major part of your nourishment. I forgive and release the past to heal my life. Okay, so maybe this has to do with the reason you're on this journey. Maybe it has to do with the reason why you feel like there is something you need to uncover. What is the truth? This is very much together. I think these are both emotional healing. If there are personal events that you need to deal with, conversations, or even journals or messages, energetic messages that you need to, that is kind of blocking you or kind of stagnant, this might be the thing that you have to reconcile. I forgive and release the past to heal my life. Whatever happened before that got you started on the journey, they might also be the thing that releases your ability to find enthusiasm again. You're looking forward to the future, to manifesting something. It might not look like a very distinctive, very tangible destination or goal, but there is great influence you can be in this world. There is definitely no authority that can tell you if your path is the worthwhile one. You have to believe in your relationship to the divine, and in whether in big or small ways, but don't overlook if it's in small ways. You represent the learnings and the divinity that is uniquely yours based on your journey and character. And let's see, I feel like just based on the color scheme, you might, when you're looking for that, finding enthusiasm, definitely emotional healing, both finding reconciliation to allow yourself, finding reasons why you should be open and accept to healing energy and taking time for that. And then also thinking about any past issues you might need to resolve. So I almost want to say, yes, we rely on you. You would be a powerful force if you hold the wisdom of truth and justice and their differences, and that kindness lives. Kindness is the thread. To me, it looks very gold. That is the thread that will put truth and justice into real impact, positive impact on the world. So thank you for being here. I hope you got something out of this, and I wish you a very fruitful, very healing Bealtaine season. Bye. Hello, pal number 3. Let's see what you have got. First, we have your overall theme for this Bealtaine season. We have cave, sanctuary. And then where you are as a sacred traveler right now. Desert passage. Trust that there is a divine plan. So where you are right now, it could feel like you're stuck in a rut or you're kind of out of resources. But really, you know, this is not the end. You've come through some difficult time, and maybe you thought that was going to be the end, and it's not, and you have to keep going. But also, don't forget that you have come through difficult times, so that it could feel tiring, but you're not not out of resources. You're not at the end, and you still have you have the bright future, you have the divine, you have hopes that you're looking forward to. And overall themes, so with the cave, you're looking for safety, possibly, or you might be entering a place of safety. But I feel like the thing about this cave and sanctuary card is really more about a sanctuary. Although to me, this is an ancestor who's trying to be away from the elements, from the wild animals, all the danger. But this person is showing a very confident posture. He's very engaged. There are things he knows to do. They're back home by the time it's sunset. There is a lot of already skill, knowledge, and self-empowerment here. And so this could be a theme of relating to your inner power, your confidence, or it could have more meaning related to the divine. And so we'll see. Next, we want to see what are the 3 stages or 3 steps you want to take to raise your energy this cycle. First, taking shelter. The answers are within. Okay, we have once again, this energy matches up very closely to the overall theme. And then, fellow travelers, support is all around you. Community of like-minded souls. Then we have distant thunder, clear the air. So from where you are, it might be fine to find shelter, find rest. If the overall theme is this kind of safety that is related to skill and power, this is actually a situation that will allow you to discover your abilities or strengthen them. You'll find things that's already within yourself. Maybe it's one of the more unpleasant things where, like some pressure is gonna make, it's gonna make them the master out of you. You'll have to learn how to deal with things. But it could also be a helping hand from others. If this is a time when, if help is offered to you, it might be a time to take it. And from the rest, that might be what you need first. Although we're in spring now, how we're doing doesn't always match up. So maybe you need to take some time to build up a more stable foundation before you want to scale up and expand. And this to me feels like it might be very important to understand what a shelter, what a sanctuary means. It might not, it's something you don't want to take lightly of. If you have a nice home, really value and take care of it. If you have a safe community to go to, really acknowledge that that is a resource you have and can rely on. And maybe out of the shelter and the sanctuary you already have, there are people who will amplify your energy. You might, if you're looking for more individuality, you can seek that from the love around you. If you're looking more for support, for rallying, for amplifying, then you know that there are people who are listening. And the 3rd stage of raising your energy is you might see some things like you might be building up. You might build up momentum. You might have trials. You might have smaller projects going, and then there might be kind of a big reveal. Maybe you'll see what works, what doesn't, who's true, who's not. You'll see, you might get help on seeing the direction of where you want to go. Everything you've believed might come to a test. But I think you're still somewhat unprotected from really immediate big shock or kind of deconstruction. You're getting a warning, and again, you have some of your skills and knowledge to see, I can see that might be a test to my future, or you might even see an opportunity. But you'll be able to notice a sign and a trend of where things are going. So to me, that looks like it's not really raising your energy. This feels more like a hold. You have a little bit of hold and you're growing there in the middle. So kind of keep that in mind if you feel that is your pace, whether you feel like you're moving or stopping again. That is, first, it might be because you need to build a solid foundation of safe place. And then later, it could be because of external factors. Okay, let's see the power that you are meant to express with your energy. We have Flora, Fertility. Lovely. So really quite a Bealtaine card. So with your power expressing in terms of fertility, you will be abundant in your creativity, in your productivity, and so you'll bring things to life, or you'll at least bring things into tangible formats, and those are the things that people will see and feel. That brings hope. If we're talking about fertility of babies, of maybe also young animals, those are very direct feelings of we see children, and yes, we think of the future, we think of potentials, we think of being a protector and doing the best we can. And of course, this might come in other formats, but a life force is contagious. What we're seeing here. And so this might match up for building energy. This could be talking about the foundation of what you will create. This might be collaborators. And this might be, let's say, if we're talking about actual plants, then this is forecasting the weather. Maybe we need to move the flower. Maybe we need to adjust the time for seeding, planting, all that stuff. But it looks like a good period of time for collaboration with your fellow travelers and to multiply the abundance that you create together. And then let's see the justice that you will manifest with your energy. That which is injurious loses its capacity to harm when it is brought into the light. And now nothing need remain hidden. This first to me thinks about curls, social media. I was talking about a lot of social media, or if you really run into people who, gossip or try to use harm as a weapon to show that they're better. This is cautioning us against that kind of diminishing energy. You try to injure, you try to harm people, you try to hurt, but it might not come naturally. It might not be. We might need to practice, a lot of us, on that. They can be dissipated. As a super introvert, sometimes I think I've come back to really awful and hurtful thoughts. I don't know. Maybe it's something to think about, our comeback, not about hurting each other more, but what is the way to kill a third hurtful thought with kindness? How can we dissolve but those hurtful energy really needs an enemy, a victim, to thrive. And when we show that we are far from victims of these things and we're so much more powerful than that, they get scared away and they dissolve like they never really existed, because they have their parasites that need something to hold on to, and we are not there for them to hold on to. We are the light. Let's see. Every thought, action, decision, or feeling creates an eddy in the interlocking, interbalancing ever, moving energy fields of life, leaving a permanent record for all of time. This realization can be intimidating when it first dawns on us, but it becomes a springboard for rapid evolution. So this is saying, this is talking about our energetic footprints. Is if we notice a thought within ourselves, a feeling that is hurting us, either in the short term or long run, it helps us decide what we do with it. This is how mindfulness help. This is how I think Dr. David Hawkins, with his map of consciousness, talk about higher, lower vibrations. It can be useful in a way because it's a chart of numbers associated to different energetic, to different feelings, energetic vibrations. And we've all been students. When we see something, for example, guilt related to low vibration, we're more likely to say, that is something that's negative. I do not want it. Whereas when we're caught in the feeling, it's hard to get out of it. But if we see, this is gonna lower my score, we're can maybe a little bit feel more supported to let go of the lower vibrations. Yeah. The other interesting thing about the map of consciousness is I think they list about 15 types of feelings and emotions. And what we think of as the really positive ones maybe consists of a third, and just a little bit over half, I think, are negative ones. So you can see there how many low vibrations and negative feelings we can come across in our lives. And so this makes me want to look at, since we have fertility, what is the soil? What is the supporting environment that we have for you? First card of the deck. I go deeper into the root of my physical discomforts to learn and heal. So somewhere we talked about like the house or the environment, and this is confirming to our nourishment and protection, maybe even our health, will come from our physical environment. And so think about what might have been dragging you down, that's coming from either your body, the food you're eating, your house or environment. Think about the actual soil, what's going into it, what's affecting it, as if you were a plant. That really has a direct effect on the power that you're going to manifest. If the soil is bad, contaminated, overlooked, you could do all this, but it will affect your power. And let's see, this is all related. What is the best course of healing you can rely on in this cycle? Once again, related to the physical realm, I listen to the voice of my body. It lets me know exactly what I need. So if you need more information, more details, it's okay to start with your own immediate needs, whether that's health and medicine, whether that's movement. It could be simply how you feel, and it could also be intuitively what foods you need to eat, when you need to eat, how much, how little. It's when you do need healing, tune into your body first and slowly kind of open the doorway of receiving information, receiving intuition of what your body is trying to tell you. There are times, certain times of day or certain times of year, we just want to eat this fruit, And sometimes that really does have a nutrient that is what you're needing now based on your cycle. So now let's look back to the beginning, where you're now starting in a desert passage, and your overall theme is the sanctuary. You might be building whatever this is, a safe home, a skilled building, a masterful project, and what you'll be able to achieve, or the bigger divine plan that you're heading towards, is to be showing others how there could be life. We all do need inspirations. I used to love, I love music a lot, and then many years in my grown-up years, I just kind of stopped listening to new music or new like plays and shows. But just today, I happened to somehow randomly to look at an old video of just some music performance, and I was very touched, almost moved to tears. And in some darker or lower energy times, that it's really inspiring. You never know when your art or your work will inspire others, and what you do could be the light that exposes the meaninglessness of harm and hurt. And so that is what you might create. And just remember to take care of yourself, especially with your physical health and environment. Okay, I hope that was some useful message, and I wish you a wonderful, fruitful Bealtaine season.